Yo, 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 it's your boy Burnard, and welcome to another episode of the Angry Blerd podcast where I'll be discussing everything nerdy that has caught my eye this week. So, once again, got to start the podcast on a somber note. I have to give a rest in peace to Guy Moon, who was the composer for theme songs for several Nickelodeon cartoons, The Brady Bunch, Johnny Quest. He passed earlier this week. He was 63 years old. This is from his family. They made a Facebook post that said, we are overcome with grief. This was on January 10th, by the way. So they said, we are overcome with grief to announce the passing of our beloved patriarch, Guy Moon. He was killed on Thursday morning in a traffic collision. We feel singularly blessed to have been able to call him dad and husband as we stand together at the base of what seems to be an insurmountable grief. We are emboldened to grieve him with honor and courage, with the tools that he equipped us with in his beautiful life. He left an unmistakable legacy and will be profoundly missed by us, his family, and countless others whose lives he impacted. We are tentatively planning to celebrate his life on his birthday, February 7th, in the Los Angeles area, and again sometime in his hometown in Wisconsin. We will make details available as we plan. Together, we remain the Moon family. So yeah, he did music for the Brady Bunch movie, Two Stupid Dogs, the 1992 Addams Family series, Fairly Odd Parents, Danny Phantom, Jimmy Neutron, SpongeBob SquarePants. He actually landed an Emmy nomination for the Fairly Odd Parents Abra Catastrophe special. And his last credit was apparently last year for a murder mystery series called The Artist. So yeah, 63 years old. Just be careful when you're on the road. Just make sure you keep your head on a swivel, because people don't know how to drive. Like, he's in LA, so I'm pretty sure the traffic is as bad out there as it is here in Florida. You just got people speeding, not using their blinkers and things like that. Like, I almost got hit yesterday. I'm recording this Saturday evening. Somebody just in such a rush, they almost got hit, but I think they eventually got pulled over by the cops because they cut one of them off. So yeah, please be careful out there, people. So yeah, my next story is simply this. Netflix is still in the bidding war for, Warner Brothers is still in the bidding war for Netflix. They're in the lead, and Paramount tried to come back and offer them some more money, and Warner Brothers is like, nah, we good. So Paramount is actually filing a lawsuit with the FCC, I believe. And I don't know if this got Netflix shook or whatever, because when I initially told you guys about this, the president of Netflix, co-CEO Ted Sarandos, said that, we're only going to keep movies in theaters for 15 days. But apparently he was doing an interview with the New York Times, and he said after looking at the books for Warner Brothers theatrical distribution, and he was ready to commit to giving all future films a 45 window to stay exclusively in theaters. So this is what he said. He said, when the deal closes, we will own a theatrical distribution engine that is phenomenal and produces billions of dollars of theatrical revenue that we don't want to put at risk. We will run that business largely like it is today with 45-day windows. I'm giving you a hard number. If we're going to be in the theatrical business, and we're competitive people. We want to win. We want to win opening weekend. I want to win the box office. Yeah, I still don't like this whole deal. I get it. They are still saying that Warner Brothers is going to be its own separate entity. It's not going to fold into Netflix or the other way around. And if anything, if Netflix is smart, they would keep the Warner Brothers name and just 86 Netflix. So fold Netflix into Warner Brothers as opposed to folding Warner Brothers into Netflix, just because of that legacy of Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers has been a film distribution company for over 100 years. I have Blu-rays that are a decade old with the Warner Brother 100 logo on them. Was it a decade ago, or was it just recent? Anyway, I don't know, but some of them like have like that Warner Brothers 100 like in gold, like foil on them, like on the sleeves. But I still don't like this because HBO Max already started to like crack down on like the password sharing and everything. But I just feel like they're going to take like Warner Brothers IP, like Looney Tunes or whatever, and turn it into Netflix IP. And it's still crazy that they're gonna have like DC, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is time for Zack Snyder to come back." No, that's not gonna happen. The day that happens, it'll be the day I quit this podcast because Netflix and Zack Snyder, they're not on the best of terms right now. I told you guys like a month ago that they canceled his live action adaptation of Twilight of the Gods, and it was something else that was canceled. But yeah, I'm still not feeling this Netflix Warner Brothers merger. I honestly would have preferred for Paramount to buy it and just, keep things going the way they are. But like I said, Ted Sarandos is responding to like all the backlash. It's like, yo, so I got 2 weeks to go see a movie before it's not in theaters. Like, this ain't like a limited run. I mean, like a low budget movie with like a limited release. Like, perfect example of that. Night Patrol. I said I was going to see that. It only has like 2 showings, and I might go see Night Patrol. I'm trying to go see Night Patrol actually on Tuesday, but I gotta see if I can find somewhere that has another showing because the only showing is when I'm at work. It's like at 4:15. Because I also have to review 28 years later, The Bone Temple. So it's like I gotta try to do Night Patrol this week and Bone Temple the following week or whatever. I'll figure it out when I figure it out. So yeah, it's not like it's a low, but like Warner Brothers, they don't really do like, movies with like a budget of like $10 million that's only in theaters for like, sporadic days or whatever like that. No, Warner Brothers goes big. All right. So my next story is in regards to casting. So the first bit of news that came out was for the sequel to How to Train Your Dragon. So How to Train Your Dragon 2 live action remake has been greenlit. Don't know if Dean Dubois is going to be doing that one, but I'm pretty sure he is. Like I said, I don't do live action remakes on anything that was animated. Like if you're going to like remake a live action movie, yeah, because But even then, it's not all of them I'll go see. Like, what was the last one I saw? Either RoboCop or Total Recall that I can think of, because I actually own those 2. Yeah, I can't think of any live action remakes I've seen in a good minute. Well, any remakes that I've seen in a good minute. But so Cate Blanchett will be reprising her role as Valka from How to Train Your Dragon 2. I have no idea who Valka is. I don't know if that's Hiccup's mom, because I think I saw the second one. I don't remember. That's Hiccup's mom. Okay, so I'm not tripping. I'm like, I saw the second How to Train Your Dragon. I remember that much because I'm like, I know I'm not tripping, but yeah, I didn't see the third one. And is there a fourth one? I honestly can't tell you. So yeah, she will be reprising her role. How old is Cate Blanchett, by the way? Not that me being ageist. She's 56 years old. I didn't know she was Australian. I thought she was British. But anyway, God of War. We got 2 people casted for that series coming to Prime Video, maybe sometime next year, maybe 2028. I don't know. But Ryan Hurst, who coincidentally played Thor in God of War Ragnarok, will be playing Kratos in the live action adaptation of this video game franchise. If you don't know who Ryan Hurst is, he played Opie on Sons of Anarchy. He was also Beta in The Walking Dead. He was in the Bates Motel series, something called Outsiders in The Abandons. But he was also in Remember the Titans, Saving Private Ryan. We Were Soldiers, and he will also be in The Odyssey. But yeah, I don't think I've ever watched anything with Ryan Hurst in it. I know him for playing Opie because one year he was at SuperCon and that was the banner he had because at the time, God of War, I mean not God of War, Sons of Anarchy was still going on. Like I'm going to his filmography. Quick. The Postman, no. Patch Adams, nope. I did not see Saving Private Ryan. I always get that mixed up with Black Hawk Down. Don't know why. So yeah, Rules of Engagement, nope. Titans, nope. Then some Mars Soldiers. Oh, he was in The Lady Killers with Tom Hanks. Okay, he played Lump Hudson. I'm guessing he was one of the goons that was in Tom Hanks's crew. Oh, like I'm looking at the cast right now. Yep, he was. I gotta rewatch that movie. Very good movie. He was in Ringo, CBGC, don't know what that is, A Million Little Pieces. Nope. He also provided the voice of Lobo in Superman Man of Tomorrow, which was the animated movie that came out in 2020. Looking at his TV film credits right now. He was on shows I watched, but, do I remember him being in Saved by the Bell, The New Class? No. Axe Cop? No. Like I said, I didn't watch Fear the Walking Dead. I don't even know what The Abandons is. Apparently it's on Netflix. Came out last December. Yeah, I can honestly say I haven't seen much with Ryan Hurst in it. But also, Teresa Palmer has been cast as Sif in the God of War series. So if you don't know who Teresa Palmer is an Australian actress. She's been in several TV shows and movies. I've seen more movies with her than shows. So, first movie I think I might have seen her in is The Sorcerer's Apprentice with Nicolas Cage and John. I'm gonna say John Bernthal. What's the name of the dude? Jay Baruchel. I'm really going to rewatch that too. Do I have that downloaded? Anyway, I am number 4. She's number 6. She's in Take Me Home Tonight. She was in Warm Bodies. She played Julie, aka Zombie Romeo and Juliet. She was in the remake of Point Break, which I did not watch. She was in The Choice, which I tried to watch because Tom Welling was in it, but couldn't get through it. She was in 999 with Mark Wahlberg and Anthony Mackie. Was it Anthony Mackie? Yeah, Anthony Mackie. Hacksaw Ridge. Didn't watch that because Mel Gibson directed it, and the hell with him. Message from the King with Chadwick Boseman. Something called Berlin Syndrome 222. She was also in The Fall Guy. That was the last movie I actually saw her in 2 years ago now. Yeah, TV shows. I haven't seen any of the shows she was in. She was in The Discovery of Witches, The Clearing, The Last Anniversary, something called Mixtape, and The Family Next Door. Okay, some of these are showing the show, so here's that. So yeah, she's playing Sif. I'm going to the TV series to see if anyone else has been cast, but no, that's it. So yeah, pre-production started in December, and casting started as of this week. But how are you guys doing out there? Got a lot of crap going on in the world, but anyway, my next story is trailer reactions. So we're gonna be. I gotta stop saying we. I got The Mummy and the Wakanda Fantastic Four Solocanans, because they don't want to call them Atlanteans. Trailer reactions to Doomsday. So let's go ahead and check out this Mummy trailer. This is the only one that I did not watch because it was like, it's The Mummy, and nobody's going to spoil that for me. So let's go ahead and get this started. All right, this is the Lee Cronin Mummy movie. Like the comments were like lighting this movie up. From the studio that brought you, Weapons. Okay, like what, Orphan? And producers James Wan and Blumhouse. It's a terrifying new vision. What the hell? It's like a giant ant. What happened to Katie? October 17th. I mean, that teaser didn't really give me much of anything. Got a little jump scare here and there, but that's about it. I mean, like Britney Spears said, give me more, give me more, give me more. What else I got? Okay, like I said, the Black Panther trailer, which I already watched because these things get spoiled for me. Like I said, Chris already told me what was the trailer about. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to see Shuri, back, even though we love against stuff. But no, we need T'Challa back.
I've lost everyone that matters to me.
Namor.
The king has his duties.
Everybody mad that Namor don't got in all his piercings and nose rings and crap anymore.
For the afterlife. I have mine.
King M'Baku of Wakanda.
Ben, Yancey Street, between Broome and Grand.
The Wakandans and the Fantastic Four will return to the rest of the fight. So yeah, I mean, the Russos is like, yo, I hope you guys are paying attention because these aren't teasers, these are stories. I'm like, and they're supposed to be revealing something. I'm like, huh? Now y'all just talking just to be talking, so just stop it. Like I said, I'm very on the fence with this movie because I feel like you should have just stuck with the Kang Dynasty. Because now it's like, what are you going to do? You're going to do the thing that, all TV shows do when a black actor leaves the show. You're going to have a stand-in, like, as Kang, and we never see his face and Doom kills him? Or are you just going to ignore the fact that we saw an army in King at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, everything that was in Loki? Or are you just going to reference, like, Doom's like, I killed he who remains. The timeline is mine now, bitch. But I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to take a break. Y'all can listen to this Dubby ad. I actually just got 2 new tubs of Dubby. I got my Tiger's Blood again, and I got my Galaxy Grenade again. And this is Galaxy Grenade in a 20-ounce tumbler, which I probably should have had like somebody like design or something. But anyway, be right back. This episode is brought to you by Dubby. Dubby gives you focus and energy without the crash and jitters. It has no sugar, fillers, or artificial dyes. Mix 1 packet or scoop into 8 or 12 ounces of water. Stir or shake well. Some powderiness is normal, and it has all the important vitamins. So this has vitamin C, B3, B6, and B12. And it's made from coffee fruit extract. So drink it and go conquer a task. And go to Dubby.gg and use my promo code Angry Blerd 10 at checkout to save 10% on your order. That's Dubby.gg with promo code Angry Blerd 10. All right, guys, I'm back. So, small story, but it hit the internet, and the trolls decided to troll. Amazon MGM Studios gave us our first look at Sophie Turner as Lara Croft in the live-action Tomb Raider series. A lot of people were like, okay, it looks spot on, but then GameStop decided to be petty for some reason. I guess they engaged Farm because it's GameStop. They're like, this is not Lara Croft. But I think she looks spot on to like the first gen Lara Croft and everything. Like she looks more like Lara Croft than Angelina Jolie did. Like to the point where, yeah, Angelina Jolie had the aesthetic, but she didn't like have the color scheme. She didn't have like the round red glasses. She didn't have like the teal shirt. All Angelina had was the gun holsters on the thighs and the shorts. But Sophie looks like Lara Croft, honestly. And the only thing that makes me mad about this is the same thing I think I said when the trailers dropped during the Game Awards. I feel like we're going backwards with Tomb Raider. Like I said, I know Shadow of the Tomb Raider didn't sell well, so Eidos panicked and sold the franchise to Amazon, and now we're getting a remake of the first game, and allegedly the next game that's coming out next year is supposed to be a new game, and I hope it's not a remake of Part 2. I don't know. I have to dig more than that because they added subtitles to everything. Like the first one is called Tomb Raider Catalyst or Tomb Raider something Atlantis, and it turns out it's just a remake of the first game from the ground up. But I really don't know how I feel about Tomb Raider as a whole because when it came to those original Tomb Raider games, I could not play them at all. So maybe this remake and revitalization of the franchise will get me into it again because I love those Square Enix games. And it could be because I'm a fan of Uncharted and those games felt like Uncharted, but they also had like their own identity. I'm just saying as far as like the gameplay and the exploration goes, it felt like Uncharted. But I'm gonna check out the series. I hope it's good. I'll watch the first episode. If I don't like it, I won't review it. And hopefully when it's on, I'm not over swamped with things to review. That's like why I didn't review the first 2 seasons of My Adventures with Superman, which I'll be getting into later. Yeah, I mean, I think she looks great. All right. So, my next story is in regards to Lucasfilm. And everyone, when I say everyone, I mean the majority of the internet. I don't mean literally everyone. Could be bots. It's a lot of people paying for blue checks. I don't know. Rage baiters, so on and so forth. They got happy with this one. Kathleen Kennedy, who is the president of Lucasfilm Studios, they're responsible for Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Willow, so on and so forth, is stepping down after 14 years. So, she gave a statement. She said, when George Lucas asked me to take over Lucasfilm upon retirement, I couldn't have imagined what lay ahead. It's been a true privilege to spend more than a decade working alongside the extraordinary talent at Lucasfilm. Their creativity and dedication have been an inspiration, and I am deeply proud of what we accomplished together. I'm excited to continue developing films and TV with longtime collaborators and fresh voices who represent the future of storytelling. So yeah, I mean, she's been there since The Force Awakens. Even before that, I want to say. Let me actually go and look at when she first took over. Because I believe the first big thing was The Force Awakens. So, and people really do need to give Kathleen Kennedy some credit because the first thing she ever produced was E.T. and she worked on the Jurassic Park movies as well. So, yeah, her first Star Wars Lucasfilm production credit was, it looks like The Force Awakens, unless there's some TV in here. No, it's legit The Force Awakens. But yeah, she's been a producer on E.T., The Color Purple, something called The Money Pit, Empire in the Sun, Always, Arachnophobia, Hook, Alive, Jurassic Park, Milk Money, Bridges of Madison County, Congo, The Indian in the Cover, which I was just thinking about a couple of days ago because that movie is officially 30 years old. Twister, The Sixth Sense, Jurassic Park 3, which nobody likes, AI, Artificial Intelligence, Seabiscuit, Waterworlds, Munich, Curious Case of Benjamin Button, Hereafter, another movie that nobody likes that Matt Damon did. The Adventures of Tintin, which I've been meaning to rewatch, but the problem with that is I don't know how the CG is going to look. That movie came out in 2011, so I'm going to give it a shot. Lincoln, The Force Awakens, Rogue One, The Last Jedi, Solo, Rise of Skywalker, Indiana Jones and Dial of Destiny, Mandalorian Grogu, and Star Wars Starfighter, which is coming out soon. But yeah, also, this is her EP credits: Gremlins, Goonies, Back to the Future, Young Sherlock Holmes, An American Tale, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I'm just naming the ones that everyone knows. Back to the Future 2, Joe versus the Volcano, Back to the Future 3, Gremlins 2, which I still need to download. Don't be crap, loco. Five Goes West, Cape Fear. I was just watching Cape Fear a couple weeks ago. Classic. We're Back, A Dinosaur Story. Schindler's List, The Flintstones, Balto, The Lost World, Signs, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, The Last Airbender, The Secret World of Arrietty, The BFG, and The Girl on the Train. Is that the movie with the, is that the movie I'm thinking about? Like the sequel to the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo? No, it's not. I don't know what The Girl on the Train is. But anyway, yeah, so she's stepping down. And now her job will be split among two people. So Dave Filoni and Lin-Wen Brennan will be the next leaders of Lucasfilm, while Dave Filoni will handle the creative side of everything that she's been doing for 20 plus years. Brennan will handle all business affairs. So everybody's excited about Dave Filoni stepping in. I'm lying. Everybody's on the fence about Dave Filoni stepping in, but he's just doing the creative stuff, which he's already been doing. Dave Filoni gave us the Clone Wars animated movie, as well as the series, Star Wars Rebels, Ahsoka. Him and Jon Favreau did Mandalorian and Grogu. And a thing came out from the rap, which I don't know if it's true or not, but allegedly Dave Filoni didn't like Andor. So that means I'm in good company, because I could not watch that show. It did not feel like Star Wars to me. It just felt like a political thriller set in the world of Star Wars. And I've just felt like, why are we going backwards with Cassian Andor? We saw him die in Rogue One. So no one cares about Andor. That might be the name of the episode. As a matter of fact, let me type that right now, because I'm doubling down on that. No one cares about Andor. And that's going to piss the nerds off. I'm sorry, that's going to piss the tweets off. How dare you say no one cares about Andor? It was the best Star Wars thing ever. Tony Gilroy is a god. All right. Anyway, my next story is based around everything DC animation. So as I told you guys, I was going to talk about my adventures with Superman. But let's talk about the Mr. Miracle animated series first. So James Gunn actually said on Threads that show is part of the DCU canon. And like I said before, Tom King is serving as the showrunner who wrote the Mr. Miracle series that the book is, wrote the Mr. Miracle series that the show is based off of, and it will be rated TV MA. So I'm pretty sure the Gooners is going to hold like it's going to be a sex scene between Mr. Miracle and Big Barter, because Rule 34 the internet. So I just want to know who's going to be in the cast, because since this is canon to the DCU, whoever they get to voice these characters can possibly appear in live action. Like, I'm still waiting to see like a good portion of the Creature Commandos, with the exception of Weasel and Rick Flag Sr. in live action. So like Indara Vollmer needs to show up as the Bride, and David Harbour needs to come back as Frankenstein. And Alan Tudyk as Doc Phosphorus, obviously. But no release date on that just yet. Also, no release date on this. My Adventures with Superman Season 3 is officially in production, and it's to be out sometime this year. So, I like the My Adventure stuff, because that's going to be its own separate universe. So, last year we got the announcement of the Starfire series, which I don't know if that's going to be in that universe. And My Adventures with Green Lantern is obviously going to be in that same universe. So, those two shows can cross over whenever they decide to do a crossover episode. All right. Next story is about Ryan Coogler's X-Files series. So, gave an update, and he said that it will have the Monster of the Week episodes alongside an overarching conspiracy. He got advice from Vince Gilligan on approaching TV. If you have no idea who Vince Gilligan is, Vince Gilligan actually got his start coincidentally writing X-Files episodes, but he is the creator of Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, and Pluribus on Apple TV, which I've been hearing good. All right. And this is his next project. And after he's done with the first season of this, Black Panther 3 will be coming up. And he said that he is also enjoying the pressure from the fans, and that there's a lot of really smart people that he does not want to let down. And he is a big fan of Gillian Anderson and David Duchovny, but he will not comment on if they're returning. So he actually said this on the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, which I need to listen to, because that is a podcast I listen to on occasion, depending on who the guest is, because it's an interview podcast about things in the film and television space. So yeah, I'm excited for that. The original X-Files series I really couldn't get into because I was a child, and like I said, when it came to those like hour-long shows, like I did not watch them. Like I didn't watch that. I said last week I didn't watch Beverly Hills 90210, Buffy, Melrose Place, Dawson's Creek. Like none of that. It was just like, I really don't remember what I watched as a child. Like, I know childhood amnesia is a thing because, We all have trouble remembering things from like maybe like 5 to 10 years old. I just remember watching a lot of movies. I do recall watching Mantis on TV, starring Carl Lumbly. Other than that, I got nothing. Xena, Hercules, but those were like syndicated shows that aired in the daytime, like on the weekends. Yeah, it was just like Fox Kids, UPN sitcoms, Kids WB. I mean, not Kids WB, WB. And like I said, WB. I did not watch Buffy, Angel, Dawson's Creek, Jack and Bobby, Felicity. I've watched like maybe like 2 or 3 episodes of Felicity when I saw that Amy Jo Johnson was on it, because by then she was already done with Power Rangers. So I was like, ooh, Kimberly, I'm in. And I was out. Anyway, my next story is simply this. A character who a lot of people call a racial stereotype is possibly getting a movie. And this is coming from the Hollywood Reporter that Speedy Gonzales may be getting his own animated movie. No update on the cast or anything like that. Hopefully, Warner Brothers doesn't try to bury this movie and tries to sell it to, what was it, Ketchup Entertainment, Ketchup Media, whatever. Because I don't think we've seen Speedy Gonzales in anything since maybe Looney Tunes Back in Action, where Speedy Gonzales has appeared in film. Don't show me the voice actors. I would like to see Speedy Gonzales in film. And they don't have this on. Okay, no, that's the Speedy Gonzales cartoons. Maybe it'll be in film. Okay, apparently Speedy Gonzales did have a scene in Space Jam: A New Legacy, but I don't recall seeing him in Space Jam and Space Jam: A New Legacy. Yeah, last time I actually recall seeing Speedy was Looney Tunes Back in Action, and that was 2003. So apparently, Jorge Gutierrez will be in charge of the new Speedy Gonzales movie. He will be writing it. I mean, he will be directing it. That's all I got. Sorry. All right. How many of you are a fan of reality TV? I'm honestly not. I've actually auditioned for like, it wasn't reality TV. It was like dating shows on like MTV. I got the call back for one, but I forgot to go down to Miami for my audition. But anyway, Fallout, the Amazon Prime series based off the video games, is getting a reality show, which is called Fallout Shelter. So here's the blurb for the 10-episode series. It says, set inside Vault-Tec's bomb-proof vaults, Fallout Shelter drops a diverse group of contestants into an immersive high-stakes world inspired by the game's signature dark humor, retrofuturism, and post-apocalyptic survival storytelling. Across a series of escalating challenges, strategic dilemmas, and moral crossroads, contestants must prove their ingenuity, teamwork, and resilience as they compete for safety, power, and ultimately a huge cash prize. So, they actually put out the link for the casting call. I will actually share it in the episode description. If you are watching on Spotify, listening on Spotify, and anywhere there is audio, because I cannot put hyperlinks in the description on YouTube. So yeah, you guys just go for it. Let me see what the requirements are. The closing date is the 15th of February. Please note that the closing date may be extended or closed for any reason at any time at our discretion without notice. You must be at least 21 years of age. You must hold a valid passport for the whole period of filming if selected, and have the right to travel and legally enter all locations as Studio Lambert Productions specifies, including without limitation to the UK and US in connection with your participation in the program and any promotion of publicity. You must be able to take part in filming on dates determined by the producer and his sole discretion, and be willing to travel across various locations of the program. Filming is currently anticipated to take place June 2026 for a duration of 3 weeks. You are not currently, nor do you currently intend to be, a candidate for public office. If there's any change in your representation prior to the initial exhibition of the program in which you appear, if selected, you must immediately notify Fallout Shelter Casting at StudioLambert.com. becoming a candidate before or around the time of the initial exhibition of the program under certain circumstances may have legal implications on the exhibitor's ability to exhibit the program. So yeah, there's a full discretionary what you call it. It's just a standard application form. They want your name, cell phone, email, your current job. They want a list of your last 3 jobs, date of birth, nationality, address, your social media handles for Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. If you have that, they want you to give a brief bio. Tell us about you in a nutshell. Tell us what you do for work and what a typical day looks like. Tell us about your family growing up. How would your friends describe you? What are your character flaws? List 3 unexpected or interesting facts about you. And if you are a fan of Fallout, have you watched the series or played the game? If so, what faction do you most identify with? On a scale to 1 to 10, how perceptive do you consider yourself to be? On a scale of 1 to 10, how charismatic are you? 1 to 10, how loyal are you? Something you are better than most at. And give an example of a time you experienced endurance. On a scale of 1 to 10, how intelligent you consider yourself. 1 to 10, agility. List your accomplishments, your top accomplishments. This can be anything. Would you consider yourself lucky? And give an example of time you created your own luck or been lucky. Why do you think you can win the show? What skills do you have to achieve winning? And what would it mean for you to win the huge cash prize? Then just the standard stuff like on applications. Gender. They also want your relationship status, sexual orientation, ethnicity. If you have any disabilities, they want a headshot and a full-length photo and a 1 or 2 minute video of you telling them about you. So yeah, like I said, that's going to be in the bio. If you guys want to apply, I would do it myself, but I can't because I am an old man with a bad knee. All right, Matthew McConaughey is saying no to AI. So he has trademarked his all right from Dazed and Confused. And I know a lot of people are saying, how can he trademark that if it was written in the movie? Fun fact, he was actually on the Breakfast Club, I want to say like October, November, promoting his book of poetry. And they asked him about that. He literally ad-libbed that because somebody who was working on the set would say it like on occasion, like on a smoking break. So yeah, he said that my team and I want to know that when my voice or likeness is ever used, it's because I approved and signed off on it. We want to create a clear perimeter around ownership with consent and arbitration, the norm in an AI world. So, you know, big ups to Matthew McConaughey for saying, you know, don't use my likeness. He also said, my team and I want to know when my voice or likeness is ever used. Oh, wait, I already read that part. Yeah. So, yeah, big ups to him. All right. Let's go ahead and cue up this spoiler alert because pretty much done. And I am going to talk about Season 2, Episode 7 of Percy Jackson and the Olympians, which is titled I Go Down with the Ship. Directed by Jason Ensler and written by Tamara Beecher Wilkinson. Once again, can we just get a consistency runtime with these episodes? Because this one was literally 30 minutes. All right, we get a flashback of Thalia sacrificing herself when her and Luke saved Annabeth as a child, and you know Zeus turned her into a tree. Then meanwhile, we get back to the present where Percy, Grover, what is the old girl's name? Why am I drawing a blank on her name? Clarice and Tyson are all trying to come up with a way to get the fleece back. But they get a key card to get back on the ship. Percy is like, you go get the fleece, I'm gonna go worry about my friend. We cut to Luke taking the fleece off of Annabeth, who finds out that she's actually tied up to a bed, and he puts it on Kronos' sarcophagus. Percy finds her, but he uses her hat to go invisible when Luke shows up. Annabeth tries to convince Luke that the freeze could actually bring Thalia back from the dead, and he's like, no, it can't. And she's like, how about you ask Kronos? Because I'm pretty sure it can. because I had a dream about it. And Percy sneaks up to the pit house of the crews to get the fleece. And meanwhile, Allison, who was on the boat, gets told by Kronos to kill Annabeth. Clarice actually fights Allison and the group to save Annabeth while Percy gets the fleece. Kronos tries to convince him not to take it, but Luke and Percy fight. Percy almost gets away, but then he gets in the elevator and gets stabbed in the gut by Luke, who uses the fleece to heal himself. Clarice and Annabeth get back to the main deck of the ship, trying to figure out a way to get off, and Luke's Pegasus Blackjack actually saves them from getting hurt, and Percy convinces Blackjack to take Clarice back to camp with the fleece. Meanwhile, Grover and Tyson hotwire the car, but neither of them know how to drive, so they call Sally. And Sally shows up to get ready to take them all back to camp. But meanwhile, Percy is recalling his vision that he had at the end of season 1 of being attacked by someone with lightning powers, but it's actually Dahlia. And Kronos and Luke have a discussion about, killing Percy. So like I said, very good episode. My main issue is these episodes are just too damn short. If you're going to be a 30-minute series, do 30 minutes. If you're going to be 45 minutes to an hour, do that. Just don't flip-flop in between the episodes. Like, I always hate when streaming shows do that. You should have some type of consistency in your runtime. Like, make the fights longer if need be. But literally 15 minutes of space or whatever, it is what it is. But I'm still liking the series. We got one more episode left, and that's the season finale of that. Yeah, I don't have any more talking to do, guys. So that was another episode of the Angry Blerd podcast. Be sure to rate, review, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Go WJackGG. Use my promo code AngryBlerd10 at checkout to save 10% on your order. Next week, if I can see it, Night Patrol. If not, it would be 28 years later, the Bone Temple, with the season finale of Percy Jackson and the Olympians. So yeah, peace, guys.